Last month we flew to Sydney and drove down to the southern coast of New South Wales. We first ventured into the Kangaroo Valley to chat with the organiser of the local volunteer group about the effects on the surrounding wildlife that will be felt for decades into the future.
I feel for the people like the National Parks and Wildlife Service.
Yeah, but it's lack of funding.
They've got 2 people going out, like we've got dozens of people. They've got 2,000 square kilometres of national park. They've got 2 people and a truck and our equipment. Our wildlife here was suffering from drought. It was a bad situation. Then they got fires. It was a crisis. And we were told by experts that if we didn't get food and water to them quickly, there would be a third crisis, and this would be starvation. And so that's what we're trying to do here. It was born in a cafe 14 days ago now, and we've already got 130 feeding stations out. We've got 100 and I don't know how many still coming, possum boxes and nesting boxes, and it's been a steep learning curve, but we're trying to do what we can.
Then we headed further south. The devastation wasn't evident until we got past Nowra, where the fire had hit the hardest. While there, we linked up with our old friend, FMX and stunt legend Robbie Madison. He shared his personal stories during the fires and gave us some tips on where we should head next.
Knowing that the fires were coming this way, I came here the day before. I knew I had time to prepare, and I put a sprinkler system in on the roofs, and I blocked all the downpipes with sandbags and sand in them. And so I was able to turn the fire hydrants on that are on the side, and they would sprinkle the rooftops. And then we did that preparation, and the day it came in, the fireys were here, and they said, you know, it should be, your building should be fine if the fires come this way. We're not going to let the fire station burn down. But they said, in the off chance, if the flames do come this way and we're on a call out, it may get hit. So I just didn't want to take the risk, so I thought I'd just do everything I could. And then eventually it got to the point where the fire brigade were leaving, and they said, look, we've been called out, you need to leave. The flames are heading this way, and it was 3 o'clock in the afternoon, which is this time, and it was pitch black, like midnight. The flames were just south of us here on the other side of the trees, and it was just dead black. I had a face mask on. They gave me a fire jacket. I had here my upright standpipe in, and I had 100 metres of hose run out, and I was pretty much outside here. I had the sprinklers going. I was hosing down the trees, hosing down, wetting all the grass. This was all dry as a bone here. And yeah, I was just flooding the place. I was just on high alert, and they said to me, you know, they warned me that I should leave, told them I was going to stay, and they said if the flames get to the tree line here at the back of the buildings across the road, they said call triple O, let them know the fire station's unmanned, and they should get sent back. But it was crazy, because after the black smoke that was covering us disappeared, then this whole place was just bright orange, and we couldn't really tell where the fire was. I was calling a friend that lives about a half a kilometre away, and he was saying that he was still safe, so we were just kind of communicating and trying to figure out where the fires were. We were listening to the fire scanner, and these guys, being the fire rescue guys, they actually weren't on the front line. As the volunteers are out there, their job, and they're on different station, different channel, but they're pretty much just on call to look after any businesses and residents that are threatened. So for the most part, they were here on standby, and they were darting off here and there to help out people who were getting threatened. There's some rural houses out here that were getting threatened by fire, so they did a great job here locally, but further south of here really was devastated badly.
Four firefighters in each of those trucks, and they went into Conjola, and he honestly thought they were gone. There was no water, there was no reticulated water. Yeah. So they went into this firestorm with only 2,000 litres of water in their tanks, and once that was expired,
It doesn't last very long.
it does not last very long, and the amount of houses lost in Conjola is absolutely terrible, and that happened like that.
We're at Jarrawongla National Park on Robbie Madison's advice, the Jarrawongla lookout. As you can see, the expanse of this fire damage is just incredible. The devastation on the landscape just goes as far as the eye can see. After chatting with local residents about their experiences, we continued further south onto Bateman's Bay. The effects of the fires were impossible to miss. Is climate change the cause of this devastation? Is it lack of fire management by authorities, or is it something totally different? Find out more in The Blame Game, coming sooner rather than later.
Humongous hailstones hammering down at Parliament House, smothering the Senate courtyard.
We're here because our world is warming. Undeniably, it is warming.
Forecast for this area of the Central West went from rain to dust very quickly.
Yesterday's thunderstorms continued through the night and contracted to the state's northeast.
People need to wake up to that, and you know, we're the climate change canary and our wings are on fire, and this should be a wake up not just for people in Australia, this should be a wake up call for everyone. We need to act, and we're not acting fast enough.
Yes, put the blanket up.
This morning, a man was found dead in his burnt-out car near Lake Conjola.
If we're to truly reflect that that is what this means for us, we have to start moving beyond targets. We have to start moving beyond aspiration. We have to start moving beyond statements of hope and deliver signs of action.
Go! Go!
Strong, changeable winds fanning the destruction.
The flames were just south of us here on the other side of the trees, and it was just dead black. I had a face mask on. They gave me a fire jacket. I had here my upright standpipe in, and I had 100 metres of hose ran out, and I was pretty much outside here. I had the sprinklers going. I was hosing down the trees, hosing down, wetting all the grass. This was all dry as a bone here. And yeah, I was just flooding the place. I was just on high alert, and they said to me, you know, they warned me that I should leave. I told them I was going to stay, and they said if the flames get to the tree line here at the back of the buildings across the road, they said call 000, let them know the fire station's unmanned, and they should get sent back.
I get it that people would have been upset to know that I was holidaying with my family while their families were under great stress. They know that I'm not going to stand there and hold a hose. I'm not a trained firefighter, nor am I an expert like those who sit in the next room and doing such an amazing job. But I'm comforted by the fact that Australians would like me to be here, just simply so I can be here alongside them as they're going through this terrible time. And so to those Australians who I had caused upset to, and I apologise for that.